Welcome back to KMX Behind the Curtain, and this is interview number 5. Welcome to KMX Behind the Curtain, and this is episode number 5. And this episode is part number 2 of our interview with pro wrestler Darian. In this interview, we're going to talk to him about one of his family members being behind one of the best wedding songs you've all danced to. We'll also talk about the inspiration behind the name of his track, and also the first listen to his brand new track made by Kayfabe Music U.K. Let's get behind the curtain with Darian. We could talk about wrestling all day long, but you've only been around a year and we've covered quite a lot in that time.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about a couple of other things. Obviously, you spoke about your last match of Lucha, and obviously the crowd reaction cheering for you on your, obviously, loser leaves Lucha. Is there any other chance you've had or anything you want to have in the future with regards to when you're wrestling that you want to hear from the crowd that will kind of make you think, yes, I've made it, or that's amazing?
Yeah. So some of it, just to hear my name has been so great. Because
Darian!
That's a big difference with acting, is it's not really me, like at the end of the day, Shakespeare wrote Hamlet so well that if the crowd's cheering for Hamlet, they're not cheering for Darian, you know what I mean? Which is why we redo plays so often. And so it's just this whole other thing for people to call your name out. And we had a match with the Brothers of Seduction, 6-man, 3-on-3. As soon as music hit or our promo played, cheering for us and cheering for our name. So hear my name alone, it's huge. Like that's so big for me. So honestly, just that, like I want more of that forever.
Just your name being chanted. And you talk about obviously your entrance there with the Brothers of Seduction. Did you find that obviously you stand behind the curtain waiting for your music to hit, and once your music hits, do you find you instantly change into your turned up to 11? Or do you feel it's just before, or do you feel it's the build up as you get into the ring?
Yeah, it's the music hits and I'm on it. I get this weird thing where it's like I want to be like, I don't know if tough is the right word, but it's like, it's so serious. And even though I'm having a lot of fun, I'm there and I'm ready to go. And I'm in there and I'm pumped. And, it's one of those things where I come out, when we had the Brothers of Seduction match was when Anthony escorted us to the ring. And I'm not thinking about the fact that, I've British celebrity, Olympic boxer, Strictly dancing.
Yeah. Oh, he did Strictly as well, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Then I have Strictly Big Brother star Anthony Ogogo behind me. I'm just there and I'm ready. I'm really keyed in.
No, that's great. And the thing is, at that point there, he wasn't all them things. He was just your friend. It was because in wrestling, and he was your family. Because everyone in wrestling is your family. Especially at Lucha, I found when you turn up, as you said, it becomes a family. Everyone there, they're in it for you.
Yeah, well, literally, I mean, with Anthony, I spent last Christmas with Anthony and his family, and we live together now. We're roommates, and so really, like, I've taken on them as my family, and they're people I talk to every single day.
Talking about wrestling, obviously Kayfabe moments. Obviously, we're throwing the Kayfabe Music U.K logo on here. So, in your short time, have you had the time where you had to keep Kayfabe? So, after a match or when you're kind of mingling after the show, as fans still around, have you kept Kayfabe, or anyone you've seen that's kept their Kayfabe and you thought that was amazing?
Yeah, the best one I saw. So again, I've been afforded such amazing opportunities, and one of those is through Windy Wine. I was put onto the Black Wrestlers Matter show. Through contacts I'd met through there. I did commentary for the entire show, and ACH had a match on the card. And I just want to say ACH is amazing. He's so good. He's like maybe the best person I've ever seen live. He was working heel for that show, and he just was like just snarling and angry, and he was so scary. And people were chanting like, "Oh, ACH sucks," all this stuff. He just snapped and goes, "Who said that?" And the entire building went dead silent. And a little kid started crying. And they went, "No one, sir." the crowd is laughing and like going like, oh, at this poor kid. And ACH, like I could almost see like he was trying so hard not to laugh or like feel bad about making this kid cry, but he just kept it on. And when he went out into the crowd later and like got in the kid's face, and I was like, oh, he's a genius. He's perfect.
Yeah. No, he played what happened in front of him, and he just carried it on. Even as much as everyone probably was going, "Nah, he's gonna break. He's gonna break."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great.
The kid was crying. I was like, oh, I would have felt bad if it were me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about that, brother.
So, looking at your music, obviously, we've made a track. Obviously, this interview, we're going to lead into your new track that we've created, and you've actually written your own lyrics and performed on it. So that'll be done. So, looking at your music side of things, your background in music, you've obviously spoke about your acting. Where's this music side of you come from?
So the music side, I come from a family of musicians. Two of my cousins are rappers. Well, more than two. But one of them is Doe Beezy, who is big up and coming Chicago rapper, as well as my cousin Yada, the Golden Child, who actually helped me record this. I recorded it in his studio. So they're huge. My grandfather, do you know the cha-cha slide?
Yes.
It slides.
Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know the cha-cha slide?
Right foot, let's stop. Left foot, let's stop. Cha-cha, real smooth.
My grandfather made that track.
Wow.
Yeah, Frederick Johnson is a jazz musician, and him and DJ Casper are friends. And I believe like they made it like on a whim one night. They just wanted something to go and play at the club. They put that track out, and literally overnight, they did it, the whole thing overnight, and put it out there. And yeah, so I have a lot of music in my family, and then I play violin and viola. Done musical theater, all that sort of thing. And I've always written, but I've just never, again, like I'm weird about titles. I'm weird about saying that I'm a musician or a rapper or whatever else. And so I was never in a situation where I was like, I'm going to do it. And with this, I was just like, Dan was really, when Dan did his interview with you, he was very specific about your music is not just a track that you like. Your music is an extension of yourself, your brand, your character. It's important. It's important to be a complete package. And so for me, I was like, what better extension of myself than to literally do it myself and who I am as a person, who I am as a character. So for me, it was always important where like, I trusted you guys so much with making the music, but I also was like, I don't know if I trust anyone else to do the lyrics.
The lyrics, yeah.
And so for me, I was just like, why leave it up to chance, giving someone else total creative control over the words, which is what's going to be what people are thinking about when they see me come out. So for me, I thought it was important to, just do it myself.
And leading on to what Dan said as well, obviously, I'm really strong on the first 10 seconds. I think the first 10 seconds of any track is really important. The Mankind car crash, the Austin glass smash, they are synonymous to that person, and you hear it and you know who's coming. It sets it all out, and I think that's where, that first part of the track, that is an extension of your character, because that gives the crowd that initial reaction and the pop, and they know what's coming. And you look at Edge's return at Royal Rumble, that it started and everyone went crazy because they knew it before they saw him. They knew who it was coming.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's really important. I think it's like when you say you wanted the lyrics to be yourself, I think you're totally right. I think they're your own words. You know what you want to say. You know how to put it across. We can put the music together, but then, and as we've done, we'll play it at the end. When we started with just the music, you listen to it. It was what it was. But as soon as we put your lyrics over the top, it just went up and up and up. And it was one of them ones where I went, this is going to really work. I really like it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the thing I was worried most about, was like, I don't know, it feels like I have this thing where it's like, I want things to feel like a snow globe. I want them to feel like everything belongs inside of this package, and it's not the package with my voice on the outside of the globe. Like I wanted it to be one complete whole thing. And the process was so good. Like we were so open in our communication, and we were so on the same page with a lot of things. And, we talked in our emails about like the Stone Cold, the glass smash. Like I need to have that. We probably worked more on the opening 10 seconds than anything else in the track. because we were really attuned to that. And so, yeah, it was so wonderful for me working with you. I really appreciated it.
No, to be fair, we've spoken. Obviously, there's myself and there's 2 producers as well. And on our message group, like even just before this message, I said I was about to interview. They were like, "He's been great to work with," because the feedback you give to us is we're not always going to get it right to start with, and we haven't. We didn't in the first time. There was bits and pieces that weren't playing up, and you were like, "Oh, can we change? Can we do that?" And I was like, "You wrote your email so well that actually you knew what you wanted, so it made our job easier because we went, okay, that's what he wants. We can go and do that rather than try and guess what you want. You knew exactly what you wanted. I think we got that end product as well. I think was everything."
Definitely, because it was so hard because so many things were like from a technical musical perspective, and then other things were from a like, we just got to feel the character. We need to feel like we had to talk about, and this was a big thing with Greg Burridge. When I left Lucha, we were still doing online training sessions where he was saying like, now that I'm on my own and I don't have my stable, I need my new identity. And, with wrestling, there's room for shades of gray, but like people need to know when they hear that music, what you're about. If you're a good guy, if you're an upstanding guy. And he's saying sometimes, especially with hip hop tracks, for whatever reason, some of those may be very problematic, that it puts off heel energy. And so that was a big thing we talked about, was like, this needs to still feel like a baby face, one with a bit of edge, but it still needs to feel good guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So that was a big thing, was like the metaphysical as well as like the technical things that we worked together on. And I think we nailed it.
Yeah, same here. And when we look at it, obviously you've done the rap over the top. Did you write that out beforehand, or did you just go into the studio and freestyle it and just feel the energy on the track? Or
so what I did was I would try, as you would send me updated versions of it, I would try and see like what fits, what kind of energy should I come with it. But ultimately, like, I think I had maybe a day or two with the version of the track that I ended up going over. And what I did was I just sat down with it for like an hour, and I just felt like, okay, what fits on here? And then the weird world of wrestling as it is, trying to avoid politics and stuff, because I think at first the opening line was, "No time for working, I shoot." And I was like, there's nothing I want less in this world than every person in the locker room being like, "Oh, this guy's a shooter. This guy doesn't want to work with me." I was like, so I changed the words and all that, and just feeling it. So it was about an hour of sitting with it and then recording it right then and there.
Nice. Well, people are going to hear it. They've got to this point. They're going to listen to this track, and it is great. Just a couple of things I want to speak to you about. You mentioned Greg Burridge, obviously head trainer at Lucha Britannia, and the London School of Lucha Libre. And I know he's been a big influence on yourself, and obviously that's led to the name of this track, obviously being inspired by him. So what's the name of the track to start with?
So the name of the track is Pukka No.2.
And the reason for that?
The reason for that is because there's one P1 in wrestling. And a lot of people think that's AJ Styles. They think he's phenomenal. But AJ Styles has lost to Greg Burridge. I don't think Greg Burridge has ever lost to AJ Styles. So for me, Greg means so much to me, has been so wonderful to me, has really, done a lot for me as a person. And he's someone that I don't think he's ever gotten the recognition that he deserves. And I wanted to do it as a tribute to him. I kind of wanted my wrestling career to be a tribute to him, because he's done so much more for me than just wrestling. So if he's the Pukka one, I want to be Pukka No.2. I'm his biggest fan, and I want to follow in his footsteps. So I wanted to name the track that after him.
Okay, listen up, my motherfuckers in the house tonight. If you are a motherfucker, give me a hoo. That's it.
I take it one of the ambitions is to come out to the track with the Pukka one.
Oh, let me tell you, wherever I end up in wrestling, that big match, that big, that big stage, I need like what Will did with Greg and Gary coming out to the Rev Pro show. I need them there.
Yeah. The thing is, they do they're everything. They are family. That moment at Rev Pro where Will had Gary and Greg coming out behind him, that picture, I remember them posting up. It was just one of the moments where it was like that, thank you. And Will was saying, thank you for what you've done for me as such. And it gave him that moment. I take it that obviously you're going to deliver that moment one day in the future, because your career in the last year has just gone up and up and up. So I can only imagine that's the direction you're planning. And what's your future, obviously, plans? Where do you want to end up?
So honestly, I think for me, I'm more about investing in myself as a performer. So for me, it doesn't matter the company. I just want to be better. I want, at the end of the day, like, Stone Cold is Stone Cold. He's not WWE's Stone Cold, and so I want to be the best me, whether that's working indies in America, whether it's working in Japan, whether it's working, obviously I work a lot with AEW personnel, whether it's working there. I just want to be the best me that I can be and be able to put on and represent for everyone that's, put effort into me.
Yeah. And that's amazing. I hope we will have a follow-up interview. Maybe in a year's time, you've probably been signed by AEW. If they allow you to be interviewed by me, then I'd love to do that. But Darian, what I'd like you to do, your track, the Pukka No.2, I'd like you to introduce it, and then we'll play it after this.
Okay, wonderful. So yes, this is Pukka No.2 by myself and Kayfabe Music U.K. I hope everyone enjoys it.
No time for talking, I shoot. Coming through all in the mood. All in my groove. All of you sheep follow suit. These shoppers coming in twos. No time to lose. All of you haters are fools. Eating the boot. You catch a bruise. And I'm coming back looking for a scrap. Time to blow it up. Hit a licking stunt. So I like the fuse. Time to break the rules. And I got the tools. When you in the pool. All you haters bitter. Losers and some quitters. I'm a heavy hitter. Handsome wig splitter. You just play the victim. I'm an Irish whip 'em. Know I got the symptoms. Wildin' and I'm sinning. And I got the vision. Now I'm on my mission. Show you my convictions. Hold up. No time for talking, I shoot. Coming through all in the mood. All in my groove. No trouble coming in smooth. Blow up the booth. Go to my tooth. And I got the sauce, you know that it's golden. Poker face on it, you suckers is folded. Spotlight is on it, you know that I'm showing. I feel my people forget my opponent. Time to get this bag, you know that I'm zoning. Y'all copycats, man, y'all really be cloning. Y'all so wrong, man, y'all know that y'all bogus. Drop a bag, dog, to give me my bonus. And I got that money, know that I notice. Running the place, you can call me the POTUS. And I run it back, find them, that's a rap. You just sprung the trap, hold up. No time for coming through you. 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 These shoppers, these shoppers, these shoppers, these shoppers, these shoppers, goons. No time for coming through you. No time for coming through you. You catch it. No time for coming through you. No time for coming through you. You catch it. No time for coming through you. No time for coming through you. These shoppers, goons. Coming through all in the mood, all in my groove. No trouble coming in smooth. Blow up the booth, go to my tooth. And I got the sauce, you know that it's golden. Poker face on it, you suckers is folded. Spotlight is on it, you know that I'm showing. I feel my people forget my opponent. Time to get this bag, you know that I'm zoning. Y'all copycats, man, y'all really be cloning. Y'all so wrong, man, y'all know that y'all bogus. Drop a bag, dog, to give me my bonus. And I got that money, know that I notice. Running the place, you can call me the POTUS. And I run it back, find them, that's a rap. You just sprung the trap, hold up.